Good morning, Roadrunners. Welcome to Assembly. This week, we continue with our celebration of winter holidays. But before we do, we will hear about something very important, the idea and practice of kindness. Let's start with our student council, who will lead us in pledge, make an announcement about the canned food drive, and also tell us some riddles and jokes. I'm here with student council, who will be leading us in the pledge. They've also got an announcement to make, plus they've got some riddles and jokes.
Please stand, face the flag, put your right hand over your heart, ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated.
Do we have any announcements?
Yes, just a quick reminder, the canned food drive is still going strong. One of our classes already has about 100 cans. Remember to bring in cans, not boxes. Thank you.
The class that has the most cans will be awarded with a party of their choice, with their teacher's permission, of course. Suggestions of parties are
Popcorn party, popsicle party, and a
Ice
pizza
cream.
party. And/or a pizza party.
Thank you. Do we have any jokes or riddles?
Yes. What did Adam say the day before Christmas?
What do you say?
It's Christmas Eve.
Any other jokes or riddles?
Yeah. Who is the rudest reindeer?
I don't know.
Rudolph.
Any more jokes or riddles?
I have a riddle.
Go ahead.
When does Christmas come before Thanksgiving?
When?
Stay tuned till next week.
Thank you, student council. Let's continue with one of the traits we hope that all MH students can practice and build, the trait of kindness. I know that all of you know this word. Many of you practice kindness every day. You treat your friends and your family well, and you do things for them that make them smile. But I'm going to challenge you. Many acts of kindness require that you do something for others, which in turn may mean you have to sacrifice. What does that mean? Sometimes kindness is sharing your dessert with your brother or sister, and that means you will have less. Sometimes kindness is letting someone else go first in a game, and that means you have to wait. Sometimes kindness is listening to someone so you may not be able to talk. Kindness means giving, and so sometimes that means you do not get to receive. So why should you be kind if it means you might have to sacrifice? I'll tell you two secrets. First, when you are kind, there is a wonderful feeling you get to have in your heart. Second, sometimes your friends and family need these acts of kindness, and by you offering them, you let them know that you love them and you are willing to do something for them, even if it is a sacrifice to you. Okay, with that, let's hear a little more about kindness from our student council members, and then let's watch a short video. Following the video, I invite you to sing along with the song about kindness. For our upper grade students, I think this song should sound familiar.
Hi! Today we're going to be talking about Super 7 certificates!
What's the theme for this month?
Kindness! How do you practice kindness?
I practice kindness in my community by helping out to the homeless.
I practice kindness at home, helping my sister with the chores.
At school, I practice kindness by bringing someone to the nurse if they're hurt.
Here's some examples of kindness.
Kindness is an action, a thought, and a choice we willingly have to make. It is the magic ingredient when you or someone is experiencing heartbreak. The power of kindness is often hidden from our sight. It is something within that will shine a beautiful, bright light. Being kind often requires courage and strength, and will even have us be brave and do things at great length. To be kind looks like to give without expecting to receive, to be generous and forgiving when it is hard to stay and not leave. A kind act goes a long, long way. It is how you can make yours and others' sadness stay away. When you are thoughtful, it shows people that you care. And this can happen with anyone, anytime, anywhere. It will always put a smile on someone's face and warm both of your hearts with love and grace. It is important to know that kindness starts with being kind to yourself and to not tuck away your feelings or what matters to you like some book on the shelf. Kindness creates a positive feedback loop in your brain that can boost your mood like a warm summer night dancing in the rain. When you open your mind and your heart and allow acts of kindness to shine through, your mind, body, and spirit will grow bigger and will know the right thing to do. Kindness is not something you buy or build, as it is truly free. And it is what bonds us all together and can have us all see that when you lead with compassion and not let judgment stop you with blindness, you and everyone in the world will grow bigger and happier by your simple act of kindness.
Let's go, Roadrunners! Let's practice kindness at MHS! Certificate!
Help me make a stand, every girl, boy, woman, and man.
Let your voices rise, you'll be satisfied. And reach out with a kind-hearted hand. Reach out with your kind-hearted hand. It's easier than you think. Just be kind to those who you meet. There's a friend out there who needs your care. So reach out with a kind-hearted hand. Reach out with your kind-hearted hand. Calling out across the ocean, calling out across the land. Show the world that kindness matters. And reach out with a kind-hearted hand. Reach out with your kind-hearted hand. When sunny skies turn gray, follow me, I'll lead the way. Here's where we begin, let some love come in. And reach out with a kind-hearted hand. Reach out with your kind-hearted hand. Reach out, reach out, reach out, reach out, reach out with your kind-hearted hand. Reach out, reach out, reach out, reach out, reach out with your kind-hearted hand. Reach out, reach out, reach out, reach out, reach out with your kind-hearted hand. Reach out, reach out, reach out, reach out, reach out with your kind-hearted hand.
Okay, it's time to get into our winter celebration. We'll begin with a reading of The Elves and the Shoemaker. Guess what? It's a story about kindness. We will finish with our very kind friends from the high school. They are the choir who will sing to us some winter holiday songs. Please enjoy.
Welcome to Storyline Online, brought to you by the SAG-AFTRA Foundation. I'm Chrissy Metz, and today I'm going to be reading The Elves and the Shoemaker. This is retold from the Brothers Grimm and illustrated by Jim LaMarche. There once was a good shoemaker who, through a spell of bad luck, had become very poor. Finally, he had just enough leather to make one last pair of shoes. "Still, it is a fine piece of leather," said his wife, "as soft as butter, and yet as strong as your hands." "Tonight, dear wife, I will cut the leather," said the shoemaker,
and the first thing in the morning I will sew the shoes." The next morning, when the couple went into the workshop, they were flabbergasted by what they found. There on the work table stood 2 shoes, perfectly finished, not a stitch out of place. But who, how? Sputtered the shoemaker. His wife could only stare. Just then, a dandy gentleman came into the shop. "What magnificent shoes! Please, I must try them on," he said. The shoes fit perfectly. It was as if they had been made just for him. He was so pleased that he had paid double the price. Now the shoemaker had enough money to buy leather for 2 more pairs of shoes. Again that evening, the shoemaker cut out the leather for the shoes and he went to bed. And once again in the morning, there were the shoes, finished. Buyers were not lacking for these either. And as before, they were so pleased they paid double the price. Now the shoemaker had enough money to buy leather for 4 more pairs of shoes. The next morning, just as before, there were the shoes already made. On and on it went. Whatever the shoemaker cut out in the evening was finished by the morning. Soon the news of the splendid shoes spread throughout the town, and the shoemaker and his wife were no longer poor. One evening, not long before Christmas, as the shoemaker cut out more leather for shoes, his wife spoke. "Dear husband, who has made us so rich, what if we were to stay up tonight and see who comes to our shop?" The shoemaker agreed. So that night they lit a small lamp in the hall. They hid behind their coats and they waited. As the clock struck midnight, they heard the creak of a window and the scuttle of small feet. Peeking out from behind the coats, they saw 2 tiny children sneak into the workshop. They were poorly shod and they wore only raggedy sacks for warmth. "Elves!" the shoemaker's wife whispered. The tiny elves tiptoed across the room and climbed up onto the table. Then, humming and whistling, they began to stitch and sew and hammer so quickly with their little fingers that the shoemaker and his wife could not believe their eyes. The elves did not stop until all the shoes were finished and stood lined up on the table, sturdy riding boots, delicate slippers, feather-light dancing shoes, and heavy clogs for work. Then the elves tiptoed out of the workshop, up the stairs, and out the window. The next morning, the wife said, "The little elves have made us rich. We must give them something in return. They run around with so little on, they must be freezing. I will make a warm dress, coat, and pants, and knit them each a pair of stockings. And I shall be happy to make them each a pair of fine shoes," said the shoemaker. They went right to work, and that evening, they laid the presents on the work table. Then, like before, they hid behind the coats and waited. At midnight, the elves quietly slipped into the workshop, ready for another night's work. But instead of pieces of leather, they found beautiful presents. At first, they were too astonished to move. Then they hugged their new warm clothes and quickly put them on. When they were dressed, they leaped and bounced around the room, singing, "Now we're elves so fine to see, no longer cobblers we will be." They jumped over chairs, raced around the shop, and finally ran out the door. The click and clack of their new shoes echoed through the streets. From that time on, the little elves were not seen again. But the shoemaker and his wife lived a long and happy life. The end. So I love this book because I think it's really important that we give and we receive. And I think as the elves gave so kindly to the shoemaker and his wife to make sure that they lived a long and happy life, they in turn gave all the clothing to the elves, and then the elves could go and help other people. And I think that it's really important to give with your whole heart. Thank you so much for watching Storyline Online, and make sure you watch all of our stories. Keep watching and keep reading.